Goulash, the perfect comfort food for a cold winter's night or a lazy Sunday day. Lots of flavor, lots of paprika. Trust the process, believe in yourself. Let's make this. We're gonna start with the herbs. Now, most of the herbs are fine. They're gonna go in the way they are brought, the way you buy them. But two herbs are problematic. You have thyme and you have rosemary. They're both very hard, very large, and they don't feel good. They don't have any good mouthfeel. What we do for those herbs that are kind of a little large is I got this coffee grinder. This is a KitchenAid coffee grinder. I think I got it for like 20 bucks. They're cheap. We have never used this for coffee. We have only used it for herbs, and it's absolutely perfect. Yeah, pure powder, that's perfect. Thyme is very strong, so I don't use a lot of thyme in this. Rosemary isn't as bad, but rosemary has those big, heavy clumps, or the way the leaves are rolled, not good. So I like to grind them down, and that way these are edible and they don't become a problem later. Now what we do is you want a good sized sauce pot, heavy duty, can take some heat, turn it on high. Let's get our meat in there. This is 80-20, you can use whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Let's get that all cooked down real early. Like we're gonna add the onions in there. Cook them all down together. That is a lot of onions. I don't waste onions in this house, so those are going too. They just didn't fit in the bowl. Now, we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna cook this burger down. Remember, this is American style goulash. I'm gonna put that on the front. I'm gonna put that in the description. So when you guys come at me and say, hey, that's not real goulash. Well, I know it ain't the goulash your grandmother made from Hungary, but it is the goulash we make here in the States. Okay, so we need to drain this oil off, but you do not wanna drain all of it. And you're gonna be like, that's gross, it's burger meat. You don't wanna drain all of it. Give me a second, I'll show you why. So the reason you don't wanna drain all that off is because no other goulash recipe even shows you this, and I don't understand it. I've done this forever, for like, since the beginning of our marriage 30 years ago. You wanna bloom the paprika. The other herbs are herbs, they don't need to be done, but the paprika has oils in it. And if you just put paprika in it when they say to, like when you put in your tomato sauce or juice or whatever, it gets gritty and it doesn't bring out the real flavor of the paprika. Now you're gonna taste it, but it's not the same. So if you watched my birria chili videos, you'll see that I bloom the chili powder. And the way you do that is, if you look, there's not much grease in here, but there's a couple tablespoons and I wanna keep it that way. Put in your paprika and cook it for about a minute, maybe two. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get this thing to open up, let it start pushing oils, and it's gonna darken a little bit. It's gonna get real fragrant, but it's gonna darken. When you do that, you can also add your garlic at the same time, either before or after, it truly doesn't matter, because that's gonna get fragrant about the same amount of time, 1 or 2 minutes. You might think I added a lot of paprika, but that was a half cup. This is a double batch, so that's why it was a half cup. But people don't put enough paprika in their goulash. I don't know what it is. It's like they're afraid of this stuff. You look at any recipe and they say 1 or 2 tablespoons for 1.5 pounds of meat. I'm like, that's not even barely Hungarian. So just bloom it for a little bit, get the spices to warm up, to heat up, excrete the oils. This is gonna change the entire profile of the goulash. You cook this for 3 or 4 minutes, you could burn it. So definitely keep it moving and pay attention. So the next thing we wanna do is we wanna add in all our seasonings. I've got the chili pepper flakes. I've got the rosemary and the thyme that I ground up earlier. I've got the oregano, or basil, excuse me, and the oregano. We're gonna get those in there just to get them a little warmed up. They do not need to be bloomed. Those are herbs that don't get bloomed. Then we're gonna just start adding in our tomatoes. I do not like using tomato sauce in our goulash because I find that it tastes too much like spaghetti sauce. And I know that's weird since we're putting tomatoes in here, but I'd rather the moisture come direct from the tomato than from a sauce that's already been predetermined on what flavors go in there. The only thing we've done is we bought these fire roasted garlic, and we love them, they're great, but not big fans of the tomato sauce. Get that in there, get that all mixed up. We can go ahead and throw in our bay, and then we're gonna use, for our noodles, you're gonna want 2 or 3 cups of liquid for 2 cups of noodles, depending on how brothy you want it. We're gonna put 6 cups in here. That is 1.5 of these boxes of stock or broth. And then we are just gonna let this cook down for a couple hours. Do this like you do chili, like you do a really good stew. It doesn't have to be done in 30 minutes. Plan a little ahead and get the best product you can out of your money. I mean, it's your money. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this up to a boil, I'm gonna reduce it down to simmer, and I'm gonna check on it every 20 minutes or so and stir it until it reduces down a little bit. Then we're gonna add our noodles, and Bob's your uncle, it's done. So I'll get back to you when this has started to boil, show you what it looks like. It's about to start boiling. I know as I said, we're gonna take it to boiling, but it's just about to start. Now it's a good time to season. You wanna season as you go, but since there's so many herbs and spices early, I decided not to add salt and pepper. But you wanna get a good teaspoon or so of salt and pepper. In the description, I'm gonna put salt and pepper to taste, because that's how you should do salt and pepper. Give it a good first seasoning. And now you wanna add some Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, this stuff, Lee and Parents. It's the best one out there. In the north here where I'm from, this is what we had. but down south they have the W sauce, and I have had that. I've actually bought that on Amazon. That stuff's really good. So if you got W sauce, use it, but just a couple tablespoons is fine. You can also use soy sauce. That works really well. Soy sauce actually is a lot more subtle than Worcestershire. So, or Worcestershire, whatever they decide they want to call it. Soy sauce works exceptionally well. You can also, and this is going to get me slack in the comments, I know it, put a little fish sauce in it. No, this isn't Asian and it's not traditional, but it's American. We do everything we want anyway. So you can put a little fish sauce. It just adds another layer. You're never going to taste the fish sauce in it. It just adds something else. But you do you. I'm just going to leave it with Worcestershire today. I know there's a way to pronounce that. I don't care, and I'm not saying Worcestershire sauce because, well, everyone else has. So anyway, let's taste it. We're going to let it get to a boil, bring it back down to simmer, touch more salt. But again, you don't want to oversalt. You don't want to make this taste the way you want it right away. The reason is because that salt will still take time to dissolve in. So if you taste it immediately, like, oh, it needs more salt, eventually you're gonna get to the point where you've added too much. So let's not do that. So when it comes to a boil, reduce the simmer, leave it uncovered because you want that to reduce down a little bit. Stir it every 15 to 20 minutes for, I'm gonna give it 2 hours. You can give it longer. This is like chili, man. The longer you let it sit, the better it's gonna get. So we'll see you in an hour or two. Okay, it's been an hour. And as you can see, if you're looking at the side a little bit, it's reduced down by about 1/4 inch. We're gonna have it reduced down a little more. The reason you cook this for a longer time is because you want all the flavors to come together. No goulash comes together in 20 minutes. I don't care what recipe you see. It can't be good. It takes hours for those spices to blend and meld and everything to work. What you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna taste test as you go. So yeah, I'm salting it now, but I did salt it on one of the stirs here about 20 minutes ago. And it does need a little salt. And let it be, let it sit. You got lots of time. You got lots of time. You don't have to rush this. Because all you're gonna do now after this is when this is done after 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever you choose, then you're gonna put in your noodles and you're gonna let it cook and that's it, your dish is done. So we're gonna give this 1 more hour and then we're gonna add our noodles. Okay, it's been around almost 2 hours, a little shy, but that's fine. Almost 2 hours now. Now remember, we gotta put in the noodles. The noodles are gonna need a little salt. So I would taste it 1 more time. And if you think it needs a little more salt, because those noodles are gonna need them. Noodles are like potatoes. They need a bit of salt to bring them out. I'm gonna add 1 last teaspoon, and then I'm gonna bring up the temp a little bit, just a little. And we have 1 pound of elbows. You can use any type of noodle you really like. It doesn't really matter. You want a good quality noodle. I mean, they do have cheaper noodles out there, and buy what you can afford, but you want something with some semolina in it. What that's gonna do is it's gonna give a better texture. Honestly, you do not have to add the noodles to the goulash. You can cook the noodles separate, because we're leftover people, and this is gonna make leftovers, but what's gonna happen is as this sits, those noodles are gonna keep absorbing the broth. So tomorrow the noodles are gonna be a little soft, probably softer than the texture you really like. So sometimes, we will cook the noodles separate and pour the goulash on top of it. And yeah, it makes the noodles a little thinner, but they're, tasting, but they're still good. Now, as you're stirring at this point, to get everything around, you can search for those bay leaves and get them out. If not, you can just wait. It truly doesn't matter. But let's get that up to a boil. Oh, found a couple right on top. Let's get rid of those. Get it to a boil, bring it down. You can add, we still have 2 more cups of stock left from when we started. If you need the stock to fill it out, use it. You're not gonna change the flavor. Let's get these noodles cooked. Cook them al dente. All right, it's been 10 minutes for the noodles. And let me test this. Oh yeah, perfect. 10 minutes, guys. I didn't know that because depending on the size, it could take less time, more time. So I set a 10-minute timer just to check them, and these are flawless. Look, plenty of moisture left. They need to add the extra 2 cups, so 6 cups work perfectly for this. Let's plate this up. Let's get Trina in here, see what she can do. All right, it is done. This is American goulash, so I don't need all the Hungarian patriots to come out and say, oh, it's not goulash. Well, I know, it's American goulash. It's not Hungarian. Hungarian goulash is more of a stew. Americans kind of changed it, took out the potatoes, added the noodles. Yum. Anyway, let's see if Trina will dig this time. Trina, babe, coming. All right. Got some Parmesan on there. Ooh. Big flaky Parmesan. Stuff works amazing.
It's so good.
Is it? For each batch that I use 1.5 pounds of meat, I'll put 1/4 cup of paprika. Sounds like a lot. Is it?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's so good.
I mean, you're eating this. If you don't want to put paprika in it, you're just basically making a stew. So trust the process. Believe in yourself. If you got problems, message us. We'll help you out. I mean, that's what we're doing. So enjoy, guys.
Enjoy.